sessions of contact training. You've been happy with their training so far?
Yeah, I have. And I suppose the best way to judge it is by reviewing the players after and seeing how they pull up from each session. And it's been so far so good. They've pulled up really well from what we've given them. That allows us to keep going forward and keep making our sessions bigger and more game-like. So Friday will be another step up from Monday, and then we'll continue to give them bigger loads, and it's all in preparation for round 2. So far so good.
Where does this session compare to maybe a normal pre-season? How many weeks in are you in that term?
Well, realistically, we're coming back from Christmas break, in a sense. So we're probably 3 weeks in after Christmas break. We're going to have to sort of ramp it up pretty quickly. So the trajectory of our sessions is going to be ramped up a lot quicker than we would over that time. So it's imperative that the players follow their programs over the shutdown period where they're away. It's critical that they look after each other and support each other through that period. And like I said, all signs are good at the moment. They're eating up the work. They're asking for more. And it's a good place to be.
When this match simulation type stuff started, have you already done some smaller version? I guess is a full team match simulation.
Yeah, Monday was an introduction into more of the collision stuff. So tackling, pressure, some more team defence type drills that we weren't allowed to do the week before. So come Friday, we'll look to do some match sim. We're still working through how much we give the players. Because there are some aspects of the game plan we want to try and work on as well in smaller drills. So it's all a bit of a balance, but yeah, we'll start stepping into match sim on Friday.
How has the period been when it comes to the game plan? Because obviously new coach, new game plan, you're wanting as much time as possible with the guys. When they went away, did it give you more time to hand some more homework, or would you have preferred to have had non-preseason? How has that been for you?
I feel like we educated the game plan well over the Christmas period and over the main pre-season. And now it's just about re-education. And largely we've been involving the players in that process to see what they know, to see where we need to go with our training and our education going forward. But the players so far have been across everything we're trying to implement, and that's verbal and being able to walk through it. Now we'll creep into some opportunities for them to be able to show it on the track. So I expect there to be some rust. But all signs are really positive.
Do you feel like there's a coach that's been at the club for 3, 4, 5, 10 years as opposed to you who's been here 6 months? Have you got any concerns that you haven't had that chance to really implement and stamp yourself on this team?
No, not really. I haven't been dwelling on that. I mean, I would have loved to have go straight into round 2 and build off our round 1 performance, but it's just not how the cookie crumbled. So. Make the best out of a tricky situation. It's been a real opportunity for me to get to know the players on a deeper level, get to see how they react to adversity, and I've been really happy with the squad as a whole. They've supported each other through. I think we've got some really strong characters amongst the group. We've got some good glue amongst our playing group, and they've got us through this period really well. I'm excited to see what we can do going forward.
Seen Buddy Franklin, heard a hammy today. Have you got any injury concerns as a result of the first couple of days?
No, like I said, I think our players have eaten up the work really well, and we might have gone on the easier side of our training, given that our players have pulled up really well. But yeah, I mean that's a balance that all clubs are looking to find at the moment. Push our players so they're ready for round 2, but making sure we don't push them too far so they get injured. So we'll ramp up things on Friday. Match sim will be a massive step for a lot of these guys, given that they haven't been able to do a lot apart from kicking in pairs for 8 weeks. So we'll keep managing our players, keep seeing how they pull up from each session, and keep pushing ahead. We're on a pretty tight schedule. Yeah, pretty tight schedule at the moment. So we've got to try and cram as much into them as we can in a short period of time.
How's Hugh Dixon tracking? Looked like he had a pretty gruelling session out there this afternoon.
Yeah, no, he's going well. He's obviously returning to full training. Yeah, and he's put in a massive session out there. He just happens to be in a rehab group that a lot of them are off legs today. So he got stuck on his own in the rehab group and thought he handled it really well. So yeah, it's a positive sign for him.
And Sam Sturt, is he back to full training Friday? Is that right?
No, he won't be. He's had a little bit of a setback with a little bit of a back injury. It's not bad, but it'll set him back a couple of sessions. So we've earmarked Monday for him to return to the main group. Yeah, so it'll probably set him back a little bit.
Does that put him in doubt for round 2?
Oh, it makes it tougher. I've got him in the side at the moment. I mean, his round 1 performance was really encouraging. He's done a lot of work over the break, and he's just had a little bit of a flare-up of an injury. So we expect it to settle down really quickly, and he'll still have 2 weeks leading into round 2. So we haven't made any call on that yet.
Is that something he's had before, the lower back stuff? Or?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just something that flared up when he was in quarantine. We weren't able to get treatment to him while he was in quarantine, and we got our medical staff to look at him over the last few days, and they've just decided to ease him into training this week, and he'll pick up with the full group on Monday.
How about the draft days? Is there many pushing their hand up for a debut in round 2?
Oh well. Hopefully everyone's pushing their hand up. I mean, we've got some quality players returning from injury as well, so competition for spots is there at the moment, and it's match committee at the moment. It's going to be really hard to pick a side for round 2, so that's an encouraging place to be at.
Is it true you had to tell some of the draftees to pull back their training because they're training too hard?
Yeah, it's always a concern when when they're training by themselves and they're really keen and really motivated to get the most out of themselves, that we just try and make sure that they stick to the program. And there's a couple of occasions where I just had to give them a bit of a call and say, the program's prescribed for a reason, stick to it, do it to the best of your ability, and it'll hold you in good stead. Don't worry about prescribing yourself more work. So they handle that pretty well, and it's always a great thing for a senior coach to have to pull players back rather than have to push them.
Who are they?
Oh, I won't go into names. Like there'd be, well, the situation we were in over the break was you weren't allowed out of the house to do much unless you're exercising. So, guys on their days off where we hadn't prescribed them any work, would go down the park for an extra kick, those sorts of things, which doesn't sound like much, but and it's a great thing that they want to work on their games, but we just got to make sure that they don't overdo it. And we would have had probably 20 blokes in that boat, so I'm not going to name names.
How's the skipper travelling, and how have you seen his return?
Yeah, really good, really good. He looks refreshed. He looks in great nick. He's really pushing the groups that he's involved in to another level. He's obviously a self-motivated athlete, so never really need to worry about him over the break. He's going to come back in top condition. And he's going to invest in his teammates, so that's what I'm seeing at the moment.
What are you thinking with your coaching staff? How much, when you came into this job, you thought that you had 11 assistants or maybe 12? What will be the difference come round 2 and how many will you have in the coach's box and helping you out?
Well, I actually probably need to look over the rules. I mean, the AFL's said that we're only allowed a certain amount of people in the coaching box. And we're still working through with the AFL of how many staff we're allowed to take to the Gold Coast. So at the moment, we'll surround our players with most of our coaches and take most of our coaches to the Gold Coast by the looks of it. And that's really important because we're going to take most of our players as well. So you want to make sure the players are well looked after, well resourced, and I make sure that I surround myself with the right coaches to make sure that I can navigate this time as well, and feel like I've got some really good experience around me with the coaching group, and they've been great support for me over the whole pre-season and especially this period.
So I think the Eagles had confirmed that they can take more than the 25. Are you still waiting to hear?
Yeah, well, I've been sort of outside watching training most of the day, so I'll go in and have a meeting with Bally later. We were hoping for up to 30 staff to travel. If that's the case, that's going to be really helpful.
What about your family? Have you made a decision on whether you'll be bringing them along with you to the hub?
No, my family's not coming. No, we, kids are at school. It's a massive disruption for them to be stuck in a hotel on other side of the country without any support and much going on. So my wife's very capable. She'll be able to hold the fort while I'm away, and you know, if it drags out, we might get them over at some stage. But at this stage, we'll just go by. I'll go by myself.
So, is there any players? I mean, you haven't got many, like Sunday, Monday, man.
Yep, and Nathan Wilson.
Yeah. Is there any that are bringing their families? Dave Mundy.
No, not. Oh, the early signs are that we'll go over as a team, an individual, and just by ourselves. And if it drags out for a longer period of time than we expect, the families might come over at that period. It's just a tough one, taking families to a resort where, you know, they can't really do much. They're better off in their own homes at times, and well, that's what I found with my family, and they're better off in their own environment with, you know, with schooling and that type of thing. It's a massive disruption for them. So, having said that, we've left it to the individuals. You know, some have got real young families and not a lot of support being from the eastern states. So, we've left it open to individuals to make that call.
We've got a taste of the fixture. Are you happy with how it unfolded the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, realistically, we knew who we were going to play. It was probably just the order and when we played them. So I'm really excited to play Brisbane round 2. They obviously finished top 4 last year, so we get a good opportunity to play a really good side and see where we're at. Yeah, and I mean, it's good to understand the fixture, understand the days you're playing on, so we can really plan out our schedule while we're on the Gold Coast and you know, start to look forward, I suppose.
I think Jared Lyons today said that they're going to have to try and find a way to get up without their home support. Do you see as a bit of an advantage getting them there without any credits?
Yeah, it is. It's an advantage for us. I mean, you know, and it was an advantage round 1 as well. I mean, playing away against a home crowd can sometimes be daunting for a young team. So to go over there and not have that will be good for us.